Welcome back. So I have waited until my tubes are leather hard. So if I push on them, they're not really doing too much. But if I gently poke them, I can still make a mark easily. So I know that they're a good leather hard. Same thing with this slab. Like I can just hold this slab and it doesn't do anything. But if I gently press it, I can make it curve. So I know it's leather hard. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to support underneath where I'm going to score. And because these slabs are getting stiffer, I really need to score the ever-living snot out of this thing. So you got to score really good. So a lot of times students will just kind of like, they'll go like this, even with the scoring tool. This is not the same as that. This is gonna fall apart, especially when you're using stiff slabs. So it's really important that you genuinely get all the way through. Now, this is starting to get on the extreme side of leather hard because you can see it's starting to crumble a little bit. If you can do it slightly earlier than this, that would be good, but it's going to be okay for this one. It's not too far gone yet. If it's got all the way to bone dry and it's really, really brittle and you're not able to score like this, like if it starts breaking off chunks and stuff instead of just little clay boogies, then it's too dry and you won't be able to actually finish. So when you're using really stiff slabs, I score both sides and I slip both sides just because I want to make sure that it is moist enough that it's going to be able to stick. So another benefit to that, and I highly recommend keeping your area clean, just use an extra rib to scoop all the clay boogies off to the side. But another reason why you want to add the liquid on is because when you go to touch this, I can see where it goes and it just makes it a little bit easier sometimes. So I'm going to lightly trace around this one like that. And then I'm going to cut it without that on top because I want to make sure that I'm not creating an undercut. So I'm going to cut just on the outside of the line and I'm going to move the clay instead of my needle tool. So I'm mostly keeping my needle tool in the same spot and I'm moving the clay mostly. Well, okay, it's a little bit of both. Now I'm not cutting all the way through this first shot because this clay is really, really stiff. And if I tried to just cut through all the way on the first try, I'm gonna break my needle tool. So it's gonna take me a couple rounds of this to get it cut all the way through. Now, if you're gonna add on handles or make a tray or something like that, then save this extra clay for later. If you're not, then, recycle it. Okay, so now that I have that, it should fit perfect because I already measured and everything, and I'm gonna go ahead and score this. Okay, now like I said before, I wanna slip both sides just because when you're doing stiff slabs, it just works a little better for rehydrating. So I'm not making it soaking wet, I'm just making it glossy, right? Like I'm trying not to leave too much on the table. Okay, so now that I have these, I'm gonna go ahead and place this on the top. Make sure it's nice and centered. I'm gonna push down all the way around and I really wanna see stuff squeeze out from the side. And now, since these slabs are so stiff, I can push real hard, or pretty hard, because I wanna make sure that this is really well stuck. So you can see all this stuff squeezing out the side. Now I can just auto smooth I'm gonna fix any lumps or bumps later, so I don't really have to worry about it right at the second. If I get too much stuff on my finger, I'm just gonna wipe it off on the magic water container. Okay, so now this should fit this really good, and it does, so that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and score around this one. And again, you could see the difference between trying to score this one for the first time and trying to score this one for the first time. This one's a better leather hard for this, but we can still make this one work because it's not to bone dry yet. Okay, so again, make sure it's nice and matched up as good as you can. You want to watch all the stuff squeeze out around the side. And because this is so stiff, you can see all the stuff squeezing out. Now, I know I didn't smooth out the inside of that other one, but I can do that once I've cut open the sections. So I'm gonna go around and make sure that it's stuck real nice, and then I'm gonna blend out any funky bits on the side with just what's left over. Don't add extra water to the outside when we go to start smoothing this later. So the only water you ever want to add is when we're slipping and scoring, okay? Because we don't want it to get too wet, because then won't be stiff slabs anymore. All right, so in the next video, I'm gonna show you how to add the dome. All right, thanks everybody.